Hello everybody, Countdown More VHS here, and welcome back to some Thief. Thief 2: The Metal Age. If you had asked me around 2003, 2005, which of the two Thief games was my favorite, I would have probably said Thief 2 at the time. This one just offered a lot more of the same of the first game in a good way, and also offered a bit more of what I really wanted more of in the first game, that is human-focused missions. Robbing rich people in mansions rather than tomb raiding and doing weird supernatural stuff. Now, in my middle age, I have to say that I've acquired a greater appreciation for the grittier, grimier, more pixelated world of the Dark Project, and so that's probably top tier now for me. But really, choosing between the Looking Glass Thieves is just purely academic. They're both excellent games, and so we're going to jump in with a Let's Play here. Now, just to go over quickly kind of what you can expect from this series, we're going to go through on Expert, and I'm going to try to ghost-ish. I'm going to have that as a goal, to basically not be detected, to avoid using tools when I don't have to, and to avoid knocking out individuals when I don't have to. That said, my hard rule is to avoid reloads. Of course, if I get killed, we'll be reloading, but the aspiration is to avoid getting killed. And if I mess up in terms of stealth, then I'm not going to just reload. We're going to keep playing and try to get out of it. That, to me, is a more fun way to play. So let's jump into a new game. We're going to go ahead and start up with a new cutscene.
I've always equated feelings with getting caught. They both get in the way of my money. Unfortunately, not everyone is as committed to their work as I am. An old associate of mine, Basso the Boxman, wants to marry Lady Rumford's chambermaid, Genevieve, and live happily ever after. Guess prison life spoiled his taste for thievery. Too bad for Basso that Lady Rumford has other plans. Marriage would void Genevieve's indentured service contract, so Rumford is keeping her confined in the estate with the rest of her worldly possessions. Basso has asked for my assistance on getting her out, since infiltration is my specialty. I make it a policy never to take a job so sentimental, but the Rumford Manor could be a lucrative opportunity for a man like me. It would also mean that Basso would owe me a favor, and in this line of work you can never have too many of those. I'll sneak in after dark and clear a path for Basso so he can rescue his damsel in distress. Along the way, I'll pick up a few souvenirs for the local pawn shops. That should make all this aggravation worthwhile. Otherwise, I'll make Basso wish he was still rotting in Crag's Cleft. This proves it. Going legit is more trouble than it's worth.
Alright, running interference. This is, in a way, almost a tutorial mission. It's extremely linear, fairly cramped, and a bit of a diversion from the much larger, sprawling, city-based missions that we're going to see later in the game. But, it's a fairly decent intro run. On expert difficulty, we've got this funny objective of getting at least 8 knockouts, which doesn't appear on either of the other difficulties. So it's kind of hard to say that this is part of the training, in a sense, if you're playing on expert. It's a little weird because getting knockouts is not the hard thing to do in the game. Going through undetected is. But at any rate, we need to get the route clear for Basso and Genevieve. We need to get 600 in loot, 200 in gems, and not kill anybody.
Just run the lock on the side door for you, Garrett. It's the only good way in.
And indeed, it is the only way in. Another aspect of the linearity of this mission. We've got this big courtyard main entrance here, but I don't think we can get in through those gates at all. Let's take a look at what we've got. We've got our compass. We've got a bird call, which we'll need to get Basso out, and that's it. Otherwise, we've got a sword, which will be of no use. We've got our blackjack, which we'll be seeing a lot of action, and 15 water arrows. The other feature of this game, and Thief 1 as well, was maps for each mission. Thief 2 really took a different direction with these, though. They're almost blueprint quality maps. They are extremely accurate and precise. Now, that's nice on the one hand. You've even got this sort of yellow area that moves depending on where you're at in the mission, so it tells you exactly where you are. There's sort of blue shading tells you where you've been. And in this mission, we've even got a line drawn. Now, this is drawn by Basso, but really all of the maps in Thief 2 are very precise, although they don't include a clear route like this. And you know, in a way, I think I prefer Thief 1's take. But very nice innovation is that now you can write notes on your maps. So if you need to write something down, which really won't come up in this one, but in some later missions we will have the desire to occasionally make some notes, we can do it in a kind of immersive way here.
Good thing the butler's out for the night. He left his lights on.
And there are fortunately keys around. We'll need to make use of them, because we have no lockpicks. And this is a non-negotiable torch. We
Damn torches, always sputtering out.
Well, don't just make tap over it. Light it up.
I lost my tinderbox. Oh, why don't you do it?
I ain't the one that's complaining, am I now?
Huh.
I say that, and it's non-negotiable, but if you knock those guards out, you actually don't need to put out that torch. You notice however, that this is not a torch. This is one of those electric lights that we'll look at in another room, because they function a little bit differently in this game. Alright, flash bombs, and the other new piece of equipment that Thief 2 added is flares, which when you select, you can carry them around. They light up just a small area. You can actually throw them to light up an area somewhere far distant. They'll go out after a few seconds. But they're kind of okay. I tend not to use them very much because the game's never that dark. The other thing Thief 2 will do that its predecessor did not is flag secrets like this, so you know without a doubt that you found something secret. And at the end of the mission, it's going to count all those up and let you know how many you've found out of a total. Alright, so we can take a look at this new light in here. It's basically a gas light. You can put it out like torches with a water arrow, but it is selectable, and so you can relight it. Really, it's there, I guess, that functionality is there so that the guards can relight it, but you can make use of it as well. Not that I'm sure that you ever would really want to. We need to knock him out as well, since we're going to be coming through this way. We'll kind of dump him out of the way because Genevieve does not like seeing knocked out bodies. There's a loot item in here that's a little bit hidden in the sense that it just looks like clutter, but this is a bag of, I guess it's spice or something. We'll be seeing more of those in a following mission. Secret speed potion hidden there. We'll head up the dumbwaiter. Very convenient dumbwaiter because we're going to need a key that he has.
Just because. Show him someday.
Right, through here, we may as well find Genevieve's room. Here we're going to get a bit of reference to one of the, really the main antagonists of the first half of the game, the Sheriff Truart. And I don't think there's anything of value in these other two rooms. Now, there is a guard still downstairs here. He's in this little alcove.
Is someone there?
Yeah, right there. He doesn't move out of there.
Nothing there.
Well, that's her door. Guess Basso can open it. He's not much of a sneak, but he can sure handle a lock.
So as soon as we get all our other objectives complete, we can go back and get Basso. But in here we've got a little bit of a somewhat hidden area. It struck me as almost like a secretive shrine. We do have a gold nugget here, and I guess a silver one around the corner, but I'm guessing this is a reference to the Mechanist, right? It's like this big metal gear. The thing is, the Mechanists in this game are sort of a new faction, an offshoot of the Hammerites. And I think the idea is that maybe at this point in the game, they're not quite at the height of their power yet, the Mechanists. And so if you want to worship them, you've got to do it kind of in secret. Like a heretical cult, I guess. But it's not clear exactly how much time passes between this mission and the next, and in the second one, they're going to be really very much in charge. I don't think we need to take him out. We'll just move around that guard. There's nothing of value in these two bedrooms. Yeah, no. In here, just another key that we've got, but under this planter, we've got a switch to open up this area with a little diadem, I guess.
Odd noise.
I think I can make it down before he gets here. That was close. Alright, let's lock him in. we just get some bathrooms with nothing in them, I think. Before I forget, let's check out this fireplace a little bit more closely. There is another guard down that hallway who may come and interrupt us. So, yeah, a bonus objective. It's a little odd. I mean, I guess that's why it's a bonus, but you would think that this would have appeared before we found the rings, right? But we got a couple of them, so that's good. We're still not at our loot total yet, but that's all on account of the gems. We need a few more, and those can be found in the other wing. But before we go down that route, I want to check out this area. So this looks out the main entrance towards the courtyard we were looking into earlier. And straight ahead on the grass there, this is probably the trickiest part of loot to get in the mission. We've got a goblet, a piece of cheese under which is, I believe, a golden platter. So, we need to get 8 knockouts anyway. I think what we're going to do is see if we can get it from these guys.
Who there?
Alright, we gotta be quick though. Get these guys back inside before the other archer comes around. Okay. Let's bring them down here because we do still have another guard who may come out this hallway. I'm not totally sure. That archer hasn't come around yet, so that's excellent. Alright, so there's 3 guards upstairs we took out. 2 downstairs. So that's 6. He'll be number 7.
Just because I've been here only a few months.
We don't have a moss arrow, though. Alright, so how can I do this? I guess I could run and jump onto the grass. It's tough because he's always sort of looking in your direction. Okay, so there's a bit of shadow over here. I think you want to kind of go around him, probably closer than I am right now.
Who's there? Hello? Hello? Who's there?
No real shadows. Alright, that was a little messy. We ended up throwing a plate, but we got everything we needed. Alright. With that, I think we're ready to go down here and eventually get Basso. Okay, I didn't know he came all the way out.
What's up?
So this is number 7, I think. Okay, I guess that'll be him. There we go. So all that's left is a little bit of loot clearing, and I think no more guards to worry about. Get a light switch. I think we're just about where we need to be. Alright, that's almost there. 175 gems. We need 25 more. Ah. Okay, 1285. I think that's everything for the mission. So we've got these guards that we left alive looking through the grill there. So it's been a while since I've played. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Are they going to hear him or not? Right. You have to be a little too close for my taste to get him to hear that bird call, but here he comes. I do have 2 flash bombs if those guards give us trouble. Hey, man. Notice how he walks in front of them. I'm not sure why he waits here. There was a guard, but I very clearly knocked out that guard. Alright. Wants to make sure it's really open.
Basso!
Shh, come with me. Shh, come with me.
Alright, now the funny thing about this key goes to this door. So, theoretically, I guess, she could have escaped at any time. Now, practically speaking, yeah, that's the only key in the mansion, at least for that door. She wouldn't have been able to sneak past all these guards, so... Alright, let's see if they can make it past these 2. Alright. Go ahead and lock this behind us. And that should call it a game.
Shh, come with me.
Alright, so running interference, certainly not my favorite mission in this game by a long shot, but it's not my least favorite mission, and we'll get to that when we get to it. Check out the stats here. I think we got everything. Yep, 1285 out of 1285. We didn't get all the pickpockets because a lot of those are just keys that were duplicates, and we found all the secrets. Very good. Now, Thief 2 did, I believe, also add a new category for your stats screen, which is hidden unless you actually acquire it, and that is I think it's called the Airborne Knockouts stat. And so if we had taken a running jump and managed to knock out a guard in mid-air, then that would show up here just for your benefit. So not a bad mission overall, in the sense of it being the very first one, your introduction or refresher to the mechanics of the game. But the next one is going to really open things up in a big way. Let's take a look at the cutscene for that.
Business has been kind of slow these days, thanks to Sheriff Gorman Truart. He's been coming down hard on my competition and anyone else he deems unlawful. I've been playing it safe by keeping a low profile, but as my landlord recently reminded me, the rent is late. He says he's going to pay me a visit tomorrow to collect, so I'll have to go amateur for some quick cash. The warehouses by the docks should fit the bill. In addition to the usual shipping traffic, there's also a small smuggling operation sponsored by the local underground. Not too many guards, lots of dark corners, and several points of entry should make this job painless and profitable. Maybe I'll even have something left over for myself once the rent is paid. Wasn't that long ago that I was planning on my retirement. Now the only thing that's getting retired is my standards. If things get any worse, I'll have to go back to picking pockets in the streets.
So shipping and receiving, the funny thing about this is it wasn't until I started reading some stuff about the game online, seeing, forums and subreddits and stuff, how much people really enjoyed this one. And I think for me, I really gave it second billing for a very long time, probably because of the way Garrett introduces it. Yeah, he sees it as going amateur for some quick cash. It's beneath his standards. And so I think I really took a lot of those cues and figured, this is just robbing a bunch of warehouses, who cares? But thinking of it from a design standpoint, once we jump into this one, you'll see this is a huge, sprawling mission with, exactly the opposite design philosophy from the first one. So we're going to have lots of points of entry, as he said, some verticality, some climbing, some ladders, all sorts of ways to approach this. And so this is actually a very fun one and a very involved one to get through. So for our objectives for this, we're going to have your typical stuff, 850 loot. We're going to need to not kill anyone. We're going to need to get back to where we started. Probably the hardest one for me is to remember where all these spices are. Some rare spice has been smuggled through the warehouse district, and so we need to get, I think it's 5 pouches of the stuff that's scattered all over the place. And then we've got this other one, not too bad, getting a label and rerouting a shipment to our fence. So kind of an interesting mechanic there. Now this is the first time we're seeing the purchase screen in this game, but it works exactly as it did in Thief 1. And what you have here is your money to spend is what you earned in the previous mission. That's it. So this doesn't carry over to mission 3. If I don't spend all of this, it's just gone. So that gives you some incentive to try to get as much as you can and to use those tools, because you're not going to save them. If you don't use all of your water arrows, you don't get to save them for the next mission either. I always liked how that worked out. I'm going to go ahead and buy these things, these little tips and tricks that are handed to you in an immersive way through the purchasing screen. We probably don't need it, but it's kind of fun to see the world building that they're doing. And we have a couple of new potions in Thief 2. Thief 1, of course, had healing potions. It had the speed potion, which gives you a burst of speed. Breath potions for breathing underwater a little bit more. It had holy water as well. I think all of those are in Thief 2. But the new ones are the slow fall potion, one of which we start with. But this one is very tricky and an easy way to get yourself killed because it does not last long. So if you drink it before jumping off of a height, you may find it wearing off well before you hit the ground. And then invisibility. We'll definitely get one of these. I think the slow fall, we may end up using one, but I don't think we're going to need a second. Otherwise, I think we want to go with a flash bomb for sure. We don't have any moss arrows, so we'll get one of these. And then, geez, let's see. We could get another flash bomb and a couple more water arrows. That would just bring us up to 5. I think that's okay. So we'll go ahead, jump in to shipping and receiving. Here we are at the grimy docks of the city. And this is where we'll start the next episode. I'll see you then.